spectacular campus, dotted with the most modern of contemporary architecture, stands a structure that at first sight resembles something from outer space. A structure that looks like a giant crystal sphere. A structure whose silent presence redefines the concept of a building. It is a spectacular glass geodesic dome, and it houses a state-of-the-art multiplex. Shimmering in the early rays of dawn, this is the Infosys dome.
Historically, you always had, the kings who would promote art and architecture in the country. Today, you would really think that it's the corporate sector which is doing the same, because modern buildings need a patron all the time, and I feel Infosys has taken that role very seriously. The requirement itself was not the normal thing. They wanted a multiplex in their own campus, in their own learning campus, and that itself was an unusual requirement. We came up with the idea that it might be more appropriate to envelop the more conventional kind of multiplex inside a dome, and that's how the idea started evolving, because this gives a kind of buffer between the external environment and the enclosed, the multiplex, which is the more protected environment where you got to control the sound and all that.
The requirement for this dome was that a lot of light had to come in, but at the same time cut down on the heat. And there was a lot of dialogue which was going on between us, the clients, and Saint Gobain. Saint Gobain recommended a cool light aquamarine on the outside and Parsal green glass on the inside. The advantage we had with this was that on the inside there is a natural light. None of the objects that you see inside are tinted, and the aquamarine glass helped in cutting down the heat that came through.
We have met a lot of people who have come and visited this place, or we have shown pictures to them, and they've all had one common impression of this structure, particularly looking at the glass and the way it diffuses the reflection, and it creates so many reflections out of a single entity. They've always felt that it has got a spiritual, uplifting quality about it. Glass is one of the obvious and ideal materials, particularly in the configuration that we have used in this dome and subsequently in a couple of other domes also. We could use right-angled triangle panels which almost practically eliminated all wastage in glass, and that's how glass became a popular material for geodesic dome cladding itself. We have worked with Saint Gobain in the last few years quite extensively. Number one, because they were in India, they were an international company, but they were manufacturing in India, so lead times were a big advantage with Gobain. In addition, the kind of support and involvement that they showed both with us and as well as with the clients, I think that made a difference.
The Infosys training center at Mysore is a unique building. It's unique not only for the application to which they have put it to as a training center, but also the structural solution which they have used to house that building. It's a very large building. You don't realize how large it is when you see it from far. It's almost 12 stories in height. It's got 100,000 square feet of floor space. It was a challenge for us from the product point of view. A product which would be safe, which would cut out the heat, which would optimize the amount of light transmission which comes in, and which would cut out the sound. And not to forget glare, because in India there is so much of light, and you have a structure full of glass, there's liable to be a lot of glare inside unless you're very careful. The product solution which we suggested for Infosys was a laminated glass, lamination of reflective glass with tinted glass, and this provided the right balance between safety, solar control, glare reduction and acoustics. It's a real challenge in terms of logistics. The inner glass was Parsol green, the outer glass was cool light aquamarine. Both the glasses were heat strengthened. They had to be laminated together for safety, and GSC Tough End of Noida did a great job of managing the logistics part. I think we are very proud to see the glass solution today. We're very proud to see that building with our glass today.
The dome not only showcases the futuristic focus of Infosys, it is also one of the most spectacular and unusual buildings in India. Made possible by the unique partnership between an architect, the client, and Gobain.